See me. Are we starting? Let's see. Okay. Hi, everybody. I have my lovely women's Bible study women here, and we are going to be going over Genesis 5, verses 1 through 32 this Wednesday evening. And I already said our starting prayer. If you are watching live, please just say a prayer for me, that this comes out the way that God has it planned, and that my nerves don't get the best of me. and thank you for being here. Okay, so we're going to start out. This is I get very nervy when it's an exciting lesson, because I get really excited, and so that turns into nerves for me. So I'm trying to woosah, but here it goes. Okay, so chapter 5, the generations of Adam. Oh, okay, sorry. Chapter 5, the generations of Adam. Okay, so chapter 5, and the Bible in general, is historical documented evidence. It's a historical genealogical book. Okay, and actually this is really interesting. We went over numerology last time, so numbers, or we haven't gone over numbers yet. That was typology. So we went over. We're going to go over numbers. Okay, so some numbers actually have some meaning, and the number 5, we're in chapter 5, means death. And so, oddly enough, definitely not a coincidence, in chapter 5, verse 5, we're going to learn of the first person dying. Okay, and of natural cause, not a murder. Okay, so because in Genesis 4, Abel was murdered, right? So that was the first murder, but this is the first natural death that we're going to see in chapter 5, verse 5. All right, then we're going to, okay, so let's just go ahead and start out. This, chapter 5, verse 1, this is the book of the generations of Adam in the day that God created man. In the likeness of God made he him, male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. Okay, so we see here in verse 1 that Adam is made in the likeness of God. Okay, and then we read that okay, so let's see. Sorry. Verse 3, and Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness and after his image, and called his name Seth. Okay, so here's the 10 patriarchs, right? We have Adam, Seth, Enos, Canaan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and then Noah. Okay, so let's see. So when we read here that Adam begot a son named Seth, and Seth was made in the likeness of Adam. So man produces after his kind, and this likeness is now sinful, in contrast to Genesis 1:26. Okay, so it says that he was made. So Adam was made in the likeness of God, and then his sons were made in the likeness of Adam. Okay, so we lost that purity, we lost all of that in the fall. Okay, so are we made in the likeness and image of God? What do you guys think? Are we made in the likeness of in the image?
Yes.
We are made in the image of Adam because Adam fell. Okay, so we were made in the likeness and image of God, but Adam fell. He ate the forbidden fruit, and then we bumped down a bit, right? Because now we're sinful. We are sinful, and God is not sinful, right? And that also takes us into this is really interesting. So 6 is the number of man, right? Because man was created on the 6th day. And then where you get 666 is that we are 2/3 complete at birth, being spiritually dead. So we're 3 parts. We're body, spirit and soul, right? So when you're born, you're 2/3 because your soul is not saved yet. So once you become saved, then you are made whole, right? You are complete. But until then, if you're not saved, you are 2/3 complete, which equals 666, which is, you know, what you hear the elites and the Illuminati and whatnot talk about 666. They've, you know, twisted everything. And I mean, it is, we are 2/3 complete. So, okay, let's keep moving forward. So, so we see that Adam lived 130 years, begot a son in his own likeness, and after his image called his name Seth. So Adam lived 930 years, right? And then he had Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. So Seth, the third son of Adam and Eve, became the forefather of the godly line of their descendants. He was the ancestral father of the world's longest living man, Methuselah, of the first person to be raptured directly to heaven, who was Enoch, and Noah, who survived the great flood. Jewish tradition considers Seth as honored among men. The spiritual intermarriage of the godly line of Seth and the ungodly line of Cain ultimately led to the judgment of the global flood. Okay? Let me see if I think someone joined. Oh, there's Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie. Okay, so we're going to already have a question, okay? So, who was Adam made in the image and likeness of?
God.
God, that's right. Okay, and then who was Seth made in the image and likeness of?
Adam.
Adam, that's right. Okay. Moving forward, let's see. So Adam lived 930 years, and Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. Okay, and Seth lived after he begot Enos 800. Oh, where is it? Well, let's see. 805. Oh, okay, so and Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. And Seth lived after he begot Enos 807 years and begot sons and daughters. And all of the days of Seth were 912 years. Okay? And he died. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years and begot sons and daughters. Okay, so verse 11, and all the days of Enos were 905 years and he died. Okay, so let's go over, so we just got down to Enos, so we're right here. So we are going to start figuring out what their names mean, okay? So Adam means man, okay? Seth, this is in Hebrew, right? So Seth means appointed. Okay, and then we have Enos. That is, hold on, mortal. His name means mortal. Okay, so we have those three names right there. Verse 12, and Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begot Mahalalel 840 years and begot sons and daughters. So this is the chapter that so and so begot so and so begot so and so begot so and so, and it's like la da 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 da. But once you get into it, once you start learning, you start digging, you will be like trying to connect the dots and figuring out how long before, how old were they, so I know how old, they were in the flood or after the flood or whatever. And so I'm going to try to spruce it up a little bit and bring in some fun facts for you guys, okay? But let's just keep reading. Okay, so and Canaan lived after he begot Mahalalel 840 years and begot sons and daughters. And all of the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. So the name for Canaan is, where'd it go? Oh no, I'm sorry guys. Hold on one second. Where is it? I picked the wrong one. Oh. Shoot. Sorry. Give me 1 second. There it is. Wait. Enos. Okay. So Canaan. No. That's not the right one. I'm so sorry. There it is. Canaan means sorrow. Okay? And Canaan lived 910 years. And he died. And Mahalalel lived 65 years and begat Jared. Verse 16, and Mahalalel lived after he begat Jared 830 years and begot sons and daughters. Verse 17, and all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years and he died. Okay? 895. So we're going to do the name for Mahalalel. The blessed God. Okay? So Canaan means sorrow. Mahalalel is the blessed God. And then my notes say that we have a question over here. So let's see. Why are they living so long? We have 930, 912, 905, 910, 895, 962, 365, 969, 777, 950 years. Why are they living so long? Does anybody know? Think about how the things that we put in our body today, the things that we eat, the air that we breathe, the bad habits that people have, right? So they lived almost 1,000 years, right, in the beginning. And slowly it started to decline. And now we're at like 80 to 100 being max, right? So basically...
Didn't something happen that made it that way?
God did shorten the years.
You taught me before that something happened and now...
Yeah, I'll have to ask Dusty on that one, but I think it says somewhere in like after Genesis 6 that the life of man was shortened to 100 years. But I think we'll get into that soon. But I know that also, I mean, what we do and what we put in our body and what we, the way that we live is drastically different than what they used to do. Everything's processed food, everything's GMO, all that stuff. Okay, so let's see. And then the next question is, what is the significance of each person listed ending in, and then he died? So let's go back to Genesis, or was it Genesis 2? What does the serpent say? You will not surely die, right? He says you will not surely die. And then now we're reading these and it says, Adam lived, and he died. Seth, and he died. Enos, and he died. So to me, that's kind of like, nope, he died. Like, he said, you will not surely die. No, you surely died, right? And they definitely died spiritually. But that, okay. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's just keep going. Okay, so, and Jared lived 162 years and begot Enoch. And Jared lived after he begot Enoch 800 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Okay? So the meaning for Jared is, let's see, is shall come down. Shall come down. Okay? Let's see. Verse 23. Did we get Methuselah yet? No. Okay. And Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. How did we miss that? And Enoch walked with God after he begot Methuselah 300 years and begot sons and daughters. Verse 23, and all the days of Enoch were 365 years. So 365 is what number to us?
A year.
A year, right? And so to me, that is interesting. So Enoch, 365 years, because there's different calendars, and we go by the calendar that's 365 days, but there is a calendar that goes by 360. So I thought that was interesting. There's always something in numbers, like especially with the Bible. God does, he adds little tidbits in there for us. And okay, let's see. So there's a question for that one. What happened to Enoch? So Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Okay? So what happened to Enoch was that he was essentially raptured. He was not, and God took him. Okay? That's all it says. So we'll get more into that. Verse 25, and Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. Okay? So let's get the Enoch means teaching. Okay. Methuselah means his death shall bring. Lamech, despairing and powerful. And Noah means comfort and rest. Okay? So let's see. So we're on verse 25. And so Methuselah, and then he begat Lamech. Okay? So I wanted to read a little bit about this. So, okay, here, you asked a question. I'm sorry, I forgot. I didn't see my notes, but I'm going to rewind a little bit. Adam begot a son in his own likeness. Man, too, reproduces after his kind. It is helpful to, this likeness is now sinful in contrast to 126. It is helpful to note that Cain and Abel are not included. Therefore, the list does not include all descendants. There are 10 patriarchs mentioned in this chapter. The last one, Noah, has 3 sons listed. This symmetry is the same in chapter 11. In Matthew 1, there are 3 sets with 14 names to a set, plus obvious omissions. Certainly, no strict chronology can be determined from any of the lists. 930 years. So 7 patriarchs right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, lived more than 900 years. Contrast this fact with the much shorter lifespan in 11, so we haven't gotten there yet, but chapter 10, 11, 10 through 32, an average span of about 200 years. The purpose of this chapter and the source of its historical importance is its testimony to the development of the human race from Adam to Noah, citing the godly line. Okay, it appears to be God's answer to Satan's blasphemous lie, ye shall not surely die. Death reigned and God's word was fully vindicated. Okay, and then we have Enoch walked with God. The verb employs signifies to walk about or to live, and the preposition denotes intimacy, fellowship, and reveal his ministry and evidently powerful preaching. And he was not, for God took him. The same Hebrew word is used for the translation of Elijah in 2 Kings 2, 3 through 5. He went to heaven without dying. His bodily translation during the long antediluvian sway of the curse was a sign that ultimately reconciliation with God includes victory over death. Okay? So, verse 23, so what happened to Enoch? What can it possibly foreshadow for us believers? Where is there a little bit of hope in there? Because a lot of people, what do you think could foreshadow Enoch being taken up by God? He did not die. What is this? What's going to happen to the church and the bride when
Raptured up?
Raptured up, right? So, I think it's really cool that Enoch was raptured. Like he was so close to God, God just took him, right? And so, a lot of people can't wrap their mind around an actual rapture happening. Like it's never happened before, and it just sounds like a fairy tale, but it's our blessed hope. Okay, it's literally our blessed hope. And so, to me, like that just, like God, well, also, who was Elijah? Did I see? Yeah, Elijah. So Enoch and Elijah. So I just think it's cool that God like actually shows us someone being raptured up. You know, it kind of gives you peace of mind, I guess. Like the word is true, and I believe God. You know, it's just we are all ready to go home. We're all getting tired of this sick world, you know, and yeah. So let's continue on. We're on verse 26. And Methuselah lived after he begot Lamech 782 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Okay, so who is the longest living person recorded in history? So the longest living person in history is Methuselah, 969 years. Okay, and Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, "This name shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed." All right, so we got the name Noah, comfort and rest. Okay. So, we have another question. Noah. Okay, so with Noah, the name comfort and rest. Let's see. So okay, we'll skip that one. I don't know what that meant. Noah foreshadowing. Comfort and rest. Okay. You guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did my notes like 2 days ago. I did them all over the weekend and the week, and I don't really, like, it didn't stick with me like I remembered it sticking. Like, I thought it was just, so bear with me, y'all. I'm really sorry. I'm off tonight, but we'll get there, okay? I have something exciting planned for the end, okay? So let's see. His name Noah. Noah saying, "This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed." So Noah means comfort and rest, okay? And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech, verse 31, all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. Okay, so 777. So 7 is the number of completion. So I don't know, this is just my opinion. So, in my opinion, Lamech living 777 years, being the father of Noah, tells me that Noah is the start of completion. Because remember, it's Noah and his family that are saved from the flood. So I see the flood as a new beginning, right? So Lamech completes or ends that lineage, ending with Noah, who will eventually bring the seed of the promised Redeemer. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay. So verse 30, let's see. We don't have any there. Okay. And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years and begot sons and daughters. Oh, I'm so sorry. Good night. Okay. So verse 32, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay. So if we remember, so Japheth was born first, Shem was born second, and Ham was born third. Okay, but Shem is the line that Jesus comes from. Okay, so Shem is mentioned. So why is Shem not mentioned first, right? Like in order. So Shem is mentioned first because it was through him that God's Messiah would come. Okay, and then the oracle of the birth of the son of Lamech, who's Noah, involves a wordplay passing over the obvious etymology of the name Noah, meaning rest. There is a somewhat similar verb, nakam, meaning comfort. The allusion to 3:17 may be a sign that he treasured the promise of 3:15. Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth was the oldest, Ham the youngest, and Shem is mentioned first because it was through him that God's Messiah would come. This chapter serves at least three purposes in the scheme of Genesis. One, it bears witness to the man's value of God by naming individuals and stages in this early human early human phase. Each is known and remembered. Two, it shows how the line of Seth, the appointed, led to Noah, the deliverer. And three, it demonstrates both the reign of death by the refrain, and he died, and the standing pledge of death's defeat by the taking of Enoch. Okay? So that was actually it. It was just 5 through 32. So-and-so begot, so not the end of our message, but so I wanted to show you guys something kind of cool. Does anybody have any idea what's going on over here with the names and the meanings? Does anybody know? Court, do you know? Okay, let's go through it together, okay? So Adam means man, okay? This is going to make a sentence, all right? Man, this is how cool the Bible is, y'all. This is prophecy. So, man, add a verb, is appointed, mortal sorrow, but the blessed God, shall come down, teaching, add a verb, that his death shall bring despairing, powerful comfort and rest. So, when these people were naming these people some weird names, God was up there was writing a sentence, right? For us to see, and this is through the line of Adam, okay? And I just recently, because I've seen this before, but what I'm about to show you on this side is different, okay? This is the line of Cain. These are Cain's descendants, okay? And so you may have never even heard this before. One of our favorite pastors we listened to, he broke this. He was like, Lord, I know there's something more. Like, just let me find it. And so we just learned this. So this is really cool. Remember last week we went over the names: Cain, Enoch, Irad, Mahuel, Methusael, Lamech, Jabal, Jubal, and Tubal-Cain. Okay? Sounds like a tubal, I don't know, like a instrument or something. So let's do the names over here. Can you guys see? Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Can you guys see? Yep. Okay, we're good. So, we have Cain. Hold on. Cain means possessor or acquirer. Okay? Enoch. Where's Enoch? Let's see. I was going to write it on the board, and I was like, no, that'll take too long. I'll just do this instead. It's taking even longer. Okay. Dedicated or consecrated. Okay. Irad. I had this on the paper. Let's see. Irad means runner or fugitive. Okay. And we have someone say that. Mahujel. There's no way. I've tried. I'm like, I'm gonna get this. So I'm like, I know what I'm talking about, but every time, even our pastor came and said, I'm like, great. Well, whatever. So Mahujel means smitten or destroyed of God. Okay? Methuselah means where's God? And it also means man of iniquity. Okay, then we have Lamech. Powerful, wild man, and strong. Okay, then we have Jabal. Stream or course of water. Jubal. Stream, flowing water to bring. Do we see where this is going? Does anyone see where this is going? Flowing forth, work of Cain, metal worker. Okay? So this one doesn't line up as perfectly as that one. Like that one, man is appointed mortal sorrow, but the blessed God shall come down, teaching that his death shall bring despairing, powerful comfort and rest. Right? So this side, so we have the possessor or acquirer, which is Cain, went to the land of Nod where he was dedicated to being a fugitive. Okay. That was the judgment upon Cain. Remember, he had a mark upon him. Yes, exactly. But he's destined, let's see, he's destined to be smitten or destroyed of God. Okay, where's God? Right? He's powerful, and he'll bring a stream or course of water that will flowing water, so flow forth, which is the flood, right? And flowing forth, work of Cain, metal worker, so flowing water. So that points to the flood. That points to judgments, right? So we have this side the descendants of Adam, and then the descendants of Cain, right? So totally different message. We hear a message of a redeemer coming, and then we hear wrath, right? Which is the flood. So I thought that was really interesting. That was the coolest, that was the funnest way to do this lesson, because, you know, it was literally so-and-so begot so-and-so begot so-and-so. And so I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of meanings in names and numbers and all of that stuff. That's why I love getting into typologies and all that. But let's go to our question. So Lamech lived 777 years, right? I already explained that. That's the completion to Noah. Did I already explain that, Mom? That's the completion to Noah? Okay. So, let's see. Oh, I printed those out for you guys so you could see them, and I didn't even... I'm sorry. That's Genesis 5, verse 1 through 5, and it just shows that he was Adam, and then was created in the likeness of God, and then Adam, and then Seth was after his image, right? And then so we have Seth, Where are you? Seth is the forefather, the third son, right? And then we have Methuselah, the longest living man. And then we have Enoch, the first person to be raptured. And we have Noah, survived the flood. Okay? And then, let's see. I think that can't be it. Well, here's a graph. Here's a timeline. So you have Adam, Noah, the law, right? And then you have Jesus, and you have the church, and then the rapture, right? We go up, and Jesus meets us in the clouds in the second heaven, and then we are raptured, and then you have the millennium. Okay? So does anybody have any questions? No questions?
This is cool, Melissa. Like, this is so cool how you organized this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I was all over the place, y'all. I'm working with, like, do I do my Bible study? Do I cram it all in one day so it's fresh? Or, like, but then I do that and then I'm like, duh, by the time I see you guys? Or do I, you know what I mean? So,
The
like,
names. I mean, who would have thought about the names being, like, there's literally a message in the names.
Yeah.
and the way that, okay, so you remember last week how Eve kept messing up the names? She's like, Cain, I have gotten a son, a man from the Lord, and then he's murderous. And then you have Abel, who she's, what was it, vanity? So she messed up those names, but she's messing up, but God's not. Like, God knows exactly what he's doing, right? So, yeah, that hidden message is just super cool. And that, like I said, that I have not seen this anywhere. That the pastor that we watched, he just did that. He started on Genesis 1 about 4 weeks before I did. So, he just came out with that, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. I thank you for watching the video, and I will see you guys next Wednesday, and I love you all. Mwah, and God bless you. Oh, here's that okay, finish.